Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim, and I have a Daily Mail article for you. It's just released February 11th, and it says, new infrared images shows swarm of flashing tic-tac-shaped UFOs chase 4 U.S. Navy destroyers off California coast at 70 miles per hour and hover over them for weeks, with at least one falling into the water. Mystery deepens as Navy fails to identify it. And I'm not going to go too in-depth into this article, or at least not going to read the whole thing, but we will go through the summaries of it and check out some pictures, and then get into the scriptures from there. It says, a grainy new image has been released by the Navy showing what appears to be 3 small dots representing unmanned aerial systems, or UAS. And I guess this would regularly refer to drones, but in this case, I do believe it's speaking of the chariots of Israel, because just above it said one fell into the water, and we know that the chariots can both fly in the air and they could go underwater and be whatever you would call an underwater UFO or underwater chariot. They can travel down there too, and they can maneuver however they want to. They can go as fast as they want. They're not controlled by the physics of this reality. Moving on, it says 3 devices appeared about the USS Paul Hamilton on July 17th, 2019. It said a swarm appeared in and out over the course of 3 hours. Other ships off the coast of California also reported several occurrences of UAS, or unmanned aerial systems, and red flashing lights throughout July, starting on the 14th. The Navy said in April of 2021 that it was unable to identify the objects, and the Department of Defense has since declined to comment. It says newly released infrared image showed a swarm of 3 tic-tac shaped UFOs chase 4 U.S. Navy destroyers off the coast of California. So here are the images of it. And then for them to say a swarm, I'm sure they saw a lot more, because these chariots, they can make themselves visual and then go invisible just like that. And they've been described as tic-tac shapes before. And there's a map. But anyway, let's get into the scriptures, because these chariots are coming for the Babylonian Navy, and for its army, and for its marines, and for the civilians of Babylon, and throughout the entire earth. But because they mentioned swarm, I want to start out with 2 Kings 6, and we'll start at 15. And it says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots, as in surrounded the city with both horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And that, when I heard about a red swarm, this is where my mind went, or where the Most High led my mind to go, to 2 Kings 6 and 16. For they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Because they can appear and then go back invisible. And there could have been, they showed 3 in those images, but there could have been thousands of chariots there. Verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And so they saw thousands and thousands of UFOs, or so-called UFOs, but they're really the chariots of Israel. And then let's move on, staying in Second Kings, just to see where it calls them the chariots of Israel. 2 Kings, 2nd chapter, 11th verse. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And so a chariot appeared over them, and a tractor beam came down, and it took up Elijah. And Elisha, who was standing right next to Elijah when this happened, verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in 2 pieces, because Elijah was just taken up in the chariots. He was just taken away, kind of very similar to how Enoch was taken away. Let's go to Psalms 104. Psalms 104 and 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters being referring to what people call outer space, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, showing that these chariots, these so-called UFOs, are actually within the scriptures vehicles, chariots that are used by the angels, used by the Lord himself. The Lord's going to return in one of these. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. He's going to come back. Yahushua is going to come back on a gigantic chariot, on a gigantic so-called UFO, to take vengeance upon the heathen. I'm going to go to Zechariah 5, because this is the future for Esau and the rest of the heathen. This is a curse to them. But it's a blessing to the elect of Israel. So we can't wait for these chariots to come back and start destroying this world that's here, this defiled world, and the people that are in it. Zechariah 5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said, and going back real quick, flying roll, that kind of sounds like a tic-tac shape. If you could imagine a giant tic-tac just flying up above you. Verse 2, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And a cubit is 1.5 feet. So he's seeing 30 feet by 15 feet, which is a smaller chariot compared to, what Yahushua is going to be returning in. But going back to the article, it sounds like they saw smaller chariots considering they kind of thought they were drones. Verse 3, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And so who steals, who's stolen lands and resources, heritage, houses, everything, who's stolen everything. Because to that nation of people, this is a curse to them. And it's not going to bring back anything good for them. This is their end. Verse 4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Hosts referring to armies. He's going to bring forth his army. And it shall enter into the house of the thief. Who is that thief? The Edomites. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. As in, it's going to completely destroy, completely eat all of your society, every bit of it, from the foundation all the way up. It's going to be gone. Your whole house, Esau. So that's what you have to look forward to. But the hopeful elect of Israel, on the flip side of this is a blessing, and we can be excited about this coming forth. So you've got to repent, because the Lord is coming back soon. And with that, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel.